The first time I saw her, the bar was nearly empty, only a handful of people scattered across dim tables, the low hum of jazz echoing through amber lights. I had come in because I didn't want to go home yet, not to the silence waiting for me. I wanted noise, warmth, a place where no one knew me. Or so I thought. Before we dive into tonight's story, if you love intimate WLW tales filled with tension, emotion, and quiet sensuality, don't forget to subscribe to Sapphic Fiction Hub. New Sapphic stories arrive every single day. I picked a stool at the far end of the bar, the one half hidden beneath a hanging lamp. And that's when she turned around, the bartender. She wasn't just beautiful, she was unforgettable. Tall, with dark hair in a loose bun, a few strands falling near her cheek, a tattoo of a crescent moon on her forearm. She wiped her hands on a black towel and walked toward me with a confidence that made my breath hitch. Her eyes found mine immediately, not by accident, like she had been waiting. "What are you drinking tonight?" she asked, leaning just close enough for her perfume, warm, smoky, like vanilla and firewood, to wrap around me. I swallowed. Something strong. Her lips curved. "Rough day?" "You could say that." She nodded slowly, assessing me in a way that felt intimate, almost intrusive, but in a good way. Like she wasn't just taking an order, she was reading me. Then she grabbed a bottle of whiskey from the top shelf. "Let me make you something. No charge." I blinked. "You don't even know what I like." She set a glass in front of me, eyes steady on mine. "Yes, I do." And then she started mixing the drink, not rushing, but moving with a slow, hypnotic rhythm, like she wanted me to watch her hands. I did. God, I did. When she slid the drink toward me, her fingers brushed mine just briefly, warm, calloused, intentional. "Try it," she said softly. I took a sip. It was perfect. A little sweet, a little sharp, exactly the kind of thing you'd want on a night when your world feels a bit too heavy. "How did you know?" I asked. She shrugged one shoulder. "You walked in like someone carrying something they don't want to set down yet. People like that need something warm first, then something that hits slow." I stared at her. "You're good at your job." She smiled, slow, quiet, devastating. "I'm good at reading women." My heart slammed hard enough for me to feel it in my throat. The night drifted into a gentle blur of soft jazz and dim lights. The bar stayed half empty, shadows stretching across the wooden counter. She moved up and down the bar, but somehow always found her way back to me. "What's your name?" she finally asked. "Emma." Then I laughed. "Sorry, I guess that's boring." "It's not boring," she replied. "It suits you." "And you?" I asked. She leaned closer, her elbow on the counter, her face inches from mine. "Lena." Lena. Of course her name was something like that. Beautiful, soft, dangerous. Her gaze wandered to my lips before returning to my eyes. Not subtle, not pretending otherwise. "Why are you here tonight, Emma?" I sighed. "Needed a place to disappear." "Funny," she said, "because you walked in like someone impossible to ignore." I looked down at my drink, her words lighting something low in my stomach. She leaned closer, lowering her voice. "Want to talk about it?" I shook my head. "Not really." "Good," she whispered. "I'd rather get to know you than your problems." That made me laugh, quietly, unexpectedly. She watched the sound leave my mouth like it mattered. "God, you're beautiful when you smile like that." My cheeks warmed. "Do you flirt with all your customers?" She took her time answering. "No."
Only with the ones who look like they might kiss me if I leaned in. I froze. Lena didn't. She stayed close, close enough that her breath touched my cheek, close enough that I could see the faint freckles across her nose. "Would you?" she asked. Her voice was velvet. Her eyes were fire. My pulse was chaos. I swallowed. "I don't know."
That's okay, she whispered. I like slow. Slow. The word hung in the air like a promise. She stepped back, giving me enough space to breathe, but her presence stayed, warm, grounding, addictive. She kept checking on me, pouring me water, asking if I needed another drink. Sometimes she'd tuck a strand of hair behind her ear. Sometimes her tattoo would catch the light. Sometimes she would lean forward, and the collar of her black shirt would shift just enough to reveal a hint of skin. She wasn't showing off. She didn't have to. Lena had a way of filling a room without ever raising her voice. At one point, I traced the rim of my glass and asked quietly, "Do you always make drinks like that?" "No." "Then why mine?" She held my gaze for a long, burning moment. "Because I wanted to make something for you." The way she said "you" felt like fingers sliding down my spine. It was close to midnight when the bar emptied. Only 2 people remained, a man half asleep in a booth, and me. Lena grabbed 2 chairs, flipped them onto tables, wiped down the counter, and finally came to stand in front of me, her hands resting on the edge of the bar. "You don't have to leave yet," she said, "but I'm closing soon." "I'll go," I murmured, finishing the last sip of my drink. "You've probably had a long night." "I don't mind long nights," she said softly. "Depends who they're with." My breath hitched. She reached for my empty glass, but instead of taking it, she wrapped her fingers around mine, slowly, deliberately. Her touch was warm, firm, electric. "Emma," she said quietly, "you don't have to run from whatever you're feeling." "I'm not running," I whispered. She smiled, the kind of smile you feel more than you see. "Good. Then look at me." I did. Her eyes flicked to my lips again. Once, twice, lingering. I felt myself leaning in. Not much, just an inch maybe, but I could feel the pull, the gravity between us growing heavier by the second. "Lena," I breathed. "Yes." "I don't usually do this." "I know." "How?" She stepped around the bar, wiping her hands on the towel tucked in her apron. She came to stand right in front of me, body close, the scent of smoke and vanilla filling my lungs. "Because you're careful," she murmured. "You think before you move. You don't let people see you want them." "And you?" I asked softly. "What do you see now?" She lifted her hand, slowly, and touched my jaw with just her fingertips. "I see someone deciding." My breath trembled. "I don't know what this is." "You don't have to," she whispered. "You just have to feel it." Her thumb brushed my cheek. "Do you feel it?" I nodded, too quickly, too honestly. Lena smiled like she could read every thought racing through my chest. "Then come with me." She took my hand, gentle, confident, and led me toward the back door. The bar lights glowed behind us, reflections shimmering across bottles like tiny galaxies. Outside, The air was cool and smelled like rain on pavement. A single street lamp cast a warm halo over the alley, and Lena turned to face me there. Just us, the night, and the quiet hum of the city. She stepped close, not rushed, not hesitant, just close enough that my breath tangled with hers. "If you want to kiss me," she whispered, "this is the part where you do." Her hand cupped my cheek, her thumb stroking softly. I leaned in, slow, certain, drawn like a tide. We met halfway. Her lips were warm, soft, steady. She kissed like someone who had waited, who wasn't afraid of being gentle, who wanted to taste emotion, not just skin. My fingers slid into her hair. Her hand moved to the small of my back. The world blurred, lights, sounds, everything fading into the quiet heat between us. When we finally parted, foreheads touching, she whispered, "You're staying, right?" A smile tugged at my lips, small, breathless, real. "Yes," I said, "I'm staying." If tonight's story stirred something in you, made you feel seen, or made your heart beat a little bit faster, don't forget to subscribe to Sapphic Fiction Hub. More intimate WL stories arrive every single day, and some of them might stay with you longer than you expect.